This car that's up in the air is a 2007 Toyota RAV4 with a 3.5 liter V6 2GR-FE engine. And as you can see from the manifold hanging on the front of the car, we're doing some AC work on the car. So what I have down here underneath the car are the subframe cross members. The reason I removed the cross members is this is the only way that you can really gain access to the AC compressor underneath the car. This car's engine bay is so tight that there is almost no way to do anything with the AC compressor from the top, and the only way to do it from the bottom is to remove the cross members, and then you have somewhat reasonable access to the AC compressor, so you can remove the AC lines and you can unfasten the compressor from the block and replace it, which is what we're doing, replacing the AC compressor because the AC clutch died. Just take a look at this engine bay and tell me if you see any way to get down to the compressor from up here. It's impossible. Quick look at what you do to remove the cross members. You have two bolts in the front here. You have two bolts right behind them. These are very long bolts. And then back here, you also have two more bolts. You have the same thing on the other side over here. Then in the middle, you have the bolts for the motor mount. There are 3 of them. And all of these bolts have 17mm heads. All the rest of this job is standard AC work. So of course when using AC work, it is necessary to first recover, evacuate all of the AC refrigerant that's already in the system. And I use this setup. And this is a great setup for DIYers. This machine is very affordable, and you can use it to do your own AC work, save thousands of dollars. So here's the old compressor on the left, and here's the new compressor on the right, and I'm going to show you the part number. You can purchase this compressor. It's very reasonably priced, and I have purchased many compressors of this brand and used them without any problem. Generally, they fit perfectly and they are reliable. And whenever I install a new compressor, I try to make sure that it is charged with the correct amount of oil. And how do I do that is I just try to spill out whatever oil is in the compressor and measure the amount using a little graduated measuring glass like this. All right, ounces on this side. So yeah, so it can help if you spin the clutch a little bit, and that'll pour any of the fluid out. And of course I'm doing it with the old compressor because I've already done this with the new compressor and installed it in the car. And what happens if you install the compressor without verifying the oil level? Well, you'll burn it up. Simply put, this is what will happen. You don't want that. Some compressors come preloaded with oil, and some don't. And you don't know, right? Because anything could happen in manufacturing. Some guy could have been texting his girlfriend instead of filling the compressor going by on the assembly line, and you end up with a dry compressor. So here's the true test. I have this little temperature gauge that I use for AC work, and I'm verifying that the temperature of the air coming out of the AC is actually less than 50 degrees, a little bit less than 50 degrees, which is plenty cold. So one thing I want to absolutely caution you is when you are putting these bolts back in place, just fit them in loosely. All right, do not tighten any of them. Make sure that you can thread them all by hand. Okay, that you can turn them all by hand before you start applying any power tools to them. This is for all of these bolts. The 3 bolts for the motor mount, and the 6 bolts on either side. Start them by hand, thread them in by hand. Make sure that they are threading in without cross-threading, because if you cross-thread some of these bolts, especially these front ones up here, you're going to be really regretting that. So there we go. We got another one ready to hit the road with ice cold AC. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. Catch you on the next go round.